morning, everyone. Welcome to Talking Horses. Anthony Stabile and Andy Serling. Anthony's making me laugh. Anyhow, 9-race card today. As the holiday weekend continues, I know nobody gets more excited about President's Day than you do.
I won't even be here tomorrow.
That's how excited you are.
Yeah, I gotta go.
What do you want? Are you like leading the parade? You Grandmaster of a President's Day parade?
We should have a President's Day parade.
No, we shouldn't.
No?
If I ran for mayor in New York, I would run under eliminating all parades except the Macy's Day
You're
Parade.
already the mayor in Saratoga.
So I would get rid of
Macy's parade.
I would
The
get rid of
Thanksgiving
Macy's
parade
Day.
has to stay.
No, it's a great parade.
Yes.
That, and I would also get rid of street fairs. Why does New York City need street fairs? We don't have enough?
When I was at the post, those things were so annoying because you couldn't park.
The worst, right?
Oh,
the worst.
And it was the same. It was the same five vendors
same stuff you don't
every
want
block.
in New York City.
How much corn can you possibly eat?
Exactly.
Can I get some Zapleys
You
or
could
something?
be my you could be my lieutenant mayor in that. Yeah, that's what that would be.
We'll whip the city right into
I would
shape.
think that would be a platform that you could just win on that alone.
Yeah, those things were abominations. Are they as prevalent as they were before COVID?
You know, they occasionally have them 72nd, going north on Broadway when I'm going to the subway. They're actually better for me because they shut down the street, so I can walk across the street.
Easier for you to get across the street, yeah.
But
sure.
I think
we couldn't park the cars. We used to have the parking lot on 48th, and you couldn't park the cars and get around.
I think we've ridden this one to death. Go over to Naira Betts,
Let's talk about
and
the weather.
you can hear more about weather talk. I'm going to disagree with one thing that Tony Soprano said. He's not wrong that remember when is the lowest form of conversation, but it might be not quite as low as the weather. Match 200, that's a great line from the Sopranos.
It is.
Match 200 will match $200 your initial deposit. Middle pick 3 threes in races 2, 3, and 6. We have a 5,000 hit and split with here in Oaklawn, the late pick 5s, 2,500 each. A friend of mine scooped it last week, actually, and Belmont Stakes tickets, they are on sale. Want to come to Belmont? I got to tell you, I'm looking forward to getting back to Belmont. Been a long time since we've been there.
Wow.
This
is about the right time frame. It would be the 2 months that we would have been at Belmont would be expiring now.
I was fine with coming back here. Yeah. It's much easier for me and all those things in the fall. And we were this year.
This is about it.
This year, actually, for us, in a lot of ways, we were fortunate. It was a very chilly fall, and there have been a lot of chilly days outside. Though we would have just been in a little studio on the side. 2 to 4:50 today, so we'll be covering a lot of the action. We'll be on through the 8th race. So what is that, like the 4th through the 8th, and Oaklawn as well. Race number, what'd you do here?
Went to Undoubtedly.
Oh, well, you did so well with Lee's Belmont horse, you might as well take another bad one. Lee doesn't know this one, though.
What do you think?
He and Juddmonte aren't partners.
What do you think is so bad about this horse, Andy?
Because his last race was atrocious.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think he belonged on the lead. I think he was kind of just on the lead. Yeah, I just think he was kind of on the lead.
Well, he's going to be on the lead again today.
No. Legrat's going to be on the lead. They send Legrat. Legrat will be on the lead.
Okay.
He'll be off Legrat, and hopefully
because he is faster than Legrat. But but listen, Jose Lezcano worked very well for him, strangling back that
Can we talk about that for a second?
It's a terrible ride.
I mean, we have a few.
That was a terrible ride. He wasn't winning.
You don't think he's riding to instructions? Because this is 3 in a row now.
To be
and
fair,
they've been different pace scenarios.
To be fair, Jose's not exactly a guy that's on the lead a lot.
But he's been,
he's a
more
rider,
aggressive lately. He's been putting those Linda Rice horses on the lead. I'm not just looking to defend Jose because I like Jose.
So do I. I like him too.
I think he is riding to instructions on that horse. I'd like to ask Tato.
So the instruction was strangle her down off a slow pace, even though you're at a low speed.
He is riding her so loose rein.
Because whoever came up with that instruction,
reined.
well, it's a bad plan. I don't think it mattered. But it was.
I don't think anything mattered yesterday with Frost Point, but yeah, I mean, she looks like the speed on paper, and she's never the speed. That's the problem. I think he's.
Well, last time they outran her because guys went. They didn't go yesterday, and he strangled her. But whatever. He's supposed to be in front. I don't get this horse at all, but that's fine. I got her third, but I shouldn't say it all. I'm going to try to get LeGros to come back. I don't know what happened last time. This race up here, though, is good enough. It's a tough race. We'll take a look at LeGros' race 2 back because the winner came back and ran lousy, and she never run a fast race. But the third horse came back and ran 8 Beyer points better in her next start. So she was coming up the fence, but I don't really know that was as big a deal because she kind of didn't get it done the next start. I thought if she ran this race, she could win this race. Now, obviously, something went wrong last time. I'm going to hope that she needs Lasix. I don't know. She didn't even run a Lasix at 3-year-old last time. She also put fronts on last time. And I will be interested to see if she has the fronts on today because she put the fronts on and did not run well. So if she takes the fronts off, that could be a good sign for this filly.
The only thing that bothered me with her and why I didn't like her was this. That track wasn't muddy, but there was some moisture in that track, and that's the only time she really lifted her legs.
Well, she fell down in her other dirt race.
Yeah, but Andy, last time was bad.
I agree it was, but maybe something went
Maybe she
wrong.
needed the
She did have
Lasix,
fronts
maybe?
on, and she gets Lasix.
Okay, we'll see.
And this is not a very good field. I mean, the horses that ran well behind Ziarati, and what is Rob doing with Ziarati? Did you tell him that she needs 2 miles? Because you're the official distance guru of
We
the barn.
gave you credit yesterday on Fox, okay? It tasted like vinegar coming out of my mouth. I don't want to discuss Katie
By the way,
Cates
I got to
anymore.
hunt down Rob and discuss
I
this
don't
with
want to
him.
discuss Katie Cates
I
anymore.
have to discuss. The problem with Katie Cates is it doesn't matter the distance. She's just not very good.
Yeah.
It's not really a distance thing. She's just not much horse. You know, and the problem is that when the horses are at a lower level, their sort of spectrum, for the lack of a better word, of what they're good at isn't that really substantial. They just are who they are.
So getting back to what you asked, I think she's running in the Busher.
Good.
Yeah.
She looked great. She looked great that day. The first time star, these horses just got trounced by her, but that was a fast race.
Yeah.
Dylan takes over for Katie. Is that an improvement? I don't know. Katie's good. All kidding aside, Katie's good.
Katie's on both of my horses. I love Katie.
Katie can ride. Katie can ride. She
Gave
gave that Dave Brown
Gave
horse.
Dave's was a
She
good ride
benefited from
yesterday.
being on the rail, to be fair. The second horse was unlucky. You know, that race got a 93 buyer. That race was faster than
Wow.
the stake. They played it straight, even though there was a significant pace difference. But those horses are good.
Nice.
But the rail was good yesterday, especially as the day wore
She
on.
gave the horse a good ride.
Well, what she did was she didn't give him a bad ride, and that's a jockey's job. Jockey's job
Stay out of the way.
is get out of the way of the horse.
Yeah.
If you ride the best horse, try to win the race.
And like
that's what
anything
she
else,
does.
the more reps she's getting on better horses, the better results she's
Someone's
going
got
to
to feed that family. I mean, the husband's been slacking for like 3
He'll
months.
be back soon.
I invited him to come to the show, and he told me he was shy or something.
Yeah, he doesn't like to do much. That's the whole family, both married and then Katie and Jackie will do it. Katie and Jackie will come here and do a hula hoop show if you ask them to. Those two,
I'm disappointed with Trevor. I'm going to start making fun of him.
Dylan and Trevor won't do much.
Race number 2. Today's card features a plethora of negative drop downs. Most of them are still running. And this one has it with Got the Gold, who obviously can win, but this horse is really a negative drop down. I mean, terrible last time. Ray claims and drops down. Bourbon's Hope continues to drop down. And he was awful last week. I mean, I had no excuse for him whatsoever in a terrible field. You've taken Cumberland Blues. We'll show his race when he won 3 back. You can talk about it.
So Cumberland Blues is another drop down, but he's not really as bad as the other two for this reason. When you claim when you get claimed,
He's
out
running
of
where he belongs.
He's running where he belongs.
They also got confused because they won this maiden 40, and this was a terrible maiden 40.
Yes, he was claimed for the maiden quarter. He won for the maiden 40. So it was an off the turf maiden 40. I think that needs to be noted. This horse belonged. When you win for the bottom, you try to run back.
So what's your excuse for his last race?
I don't really have one. I mean, I just think he ran against. Well, I think he ran against better horses.
He had a massive excuse last time. He could have watched it. He broke about 3/4 to a length slow in that race, and he got completely shuffled back to last. And he's obviously a horse that needs to be forward. And Matty Oliver's got to do a better job of getting this horse out. I mean, with all due respect to Matty, this is a tough colony to go. She's got to be able to be more forward with this horse. And when she's had some success here, she has been more forward.
Yeah, they've all been forward.
And that's what she needs to do. She cannot allow this horse to knock it out of the gate. If this horse gets out of the gate and she's 40 to win, I think she's the horse to beat, or he's the horse to beat here. But he had a massive excuse last time and actually didn't run that badly in there, to be honest. I agree. I think he's the horse to beat. I just didn't want to pick him on top with you. That's all it comes down to. BC Glory Days was terrible. And I have a little bit of a thing with Can't Beat Me, who I bet last time. And the reality of Can't Beat Me is that he had no chance last time. That track got inside speedy, and the winner was the biggest day new in history.
Right to the
I mean,
lead.
that horse ran 25 buyer points or something faster than his maiden win the time before that. Just ran off their feet.
77 or something, yeah.
77, 74, 78, I don't know, something crazy. This horse was extremely unlucky back on December 4th. Probably should have won that day. Got caught in traffic. I'm going to give him one more chance in here. It's a bad field. I'm going to use 7s and 2s.
Okay.
Race number 3, another complete negative drop-down purse. You've got Warrior in Chief, who's the horse to beat in theory, but he's a dreadful drop-down off a bad race last time. Great workout. I ended up picking him because I don't like anybody else besides the 1 and 3. I don't like these horses and want to bet them. I don't trust Great Workout dropping the bottom off the layoff. But Great Workout could smother this field, and I'm just.
He could.
But he also is a terrible negative drop down.
Negative drop down, and he's a horse that has 0 speed.
In this field, he won't be that far out of it. This
He
field going
doesn't
a mile.
figure to be.
Well, look at his race 3 back.
Yeah, I know. He
You
doesn't
say zero
figure to be.
speed. He had speed that day.
But overall, I mean,
You're acting as though he's a total plotter. He's not a total plotter. He just didn't run last time. He's not. He doesn't have speed, but he's not a total plotter. I mean, he's not as slow as some other horses in here. So you've taken Royal Realm, and we'll show you the Royal Realm Jumpster race, and you're going to have to explain this to me.
why do I have to explain this to you?
Well, you've got him on top, and you've got Jumpster fourth, and Jumpster ran better than he did. That is always a little puzzling to me.
Well, I don't. Why do you think Jumpster ran better than he did?
Well, because I actually believe in paying attention to the racetrack, and being towards the inside was a massive help for Royal Realm. We got down to the rail at the end, and when he got to the rail, it's almost like when he got re-energized down there. This horse, the other horse was wide. He saved ground. I just think Jumpster ran the better race. Okay. And the other thing is, Jumpster's going to be a much bigger price. So why would you want? I mean, it's one thing you got him on top, but to have the other horse fourth, I think Jumpster's a much more likely winner than he is.
Well, so I almost put Warrior and Chief on top. Problem with Warrior and Chief for me is Michelle's barn is so cold right now. But I mean, he's run against so much better lately. And you talk about no pace. Isn't Manny just supposed to put him in front? Isn't Manny just supposed to put Warrior and Chief right on the lead in here today and hope that these horses don't want to pass him?
Of course he's going to be in front. Where's the speed?
I almost picked him, but Michelle's barn is just going so cold right now.
Yeah, she's run a lot of bad horses.
Yeah.
And she's had horses against the track. She's against the track. That horse got left yesterday. I tell you what, I'll take 3-2. 3 lunches to 2, that the 4 beats the 5.
Sure. You could have that. 3-2 you can have.
127, by the way.
Okay.
Anthony actually got excited. He thought he had a chance to win that bet on Thursday, or Friday. He really did. They were similar prices to the double.
They were 2-1, 9-2 with like 7 minutes to post. I was like, I know I'm
gonna blow it.
it.
They ended up at 7-2 and 2-1.
Scary.
That horse get claimed? Did you look it up?
I never looked it up.
4 over 5.
There was like a 40-cent difference in the double. It was a 1.5 on the total.
Can't resist those bad firsters
Yeah.
for Rudy. Felt like something was up there. Rudy, that horse got claimed. Rudy did his job. Race number 4. Thought this was a bit of a mess.
That's a nice way to put it.
I mean, it's a bit
I
of a.
don't disagree.
It's the I don't trust purse.
Yeah, for sure.
Go ahead.
I just went with Girls of Tuscanova, who, again, I like the name you give in this race. She's, and this is just another example. I feel like even though it's for almost the same level, hasn't she just been running against better horses? Hasn't
She has.
My Sweet Wife and Royal
She
Megan?
has, but she's a drop down. It's another barn that's been a little bit chilly.
Yeah.
They are a barn that can be very streaky, and right now they're a little bit cold. This horse is laid up now for 3.5 months and drops down. And by the way, we should mention the estate of Bob Amendola. Bob passed away a few months ago.
Yeah, his son Michael is I don't want to say running things because he's really put Matt and Ilkay in charge of things. He's really just leaving them alone. But yeah, Michael
had a lot of
Michael's
success.
just
He's been in the game a long time.
Yeah,
He was gone. He's Cedar Valley Farm when he had Butch Lenzini train those horses back in the 80s and stuff, and then he came back and.
Pat Reynolds had the horses for a while, and then he wound up with Matt and Il.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Bob's a good
She
guy.
can win. I didn't really trust her. I thought Keen Dancer wasn't impossible, getting back to a more reasonable level. The horse to beat is Buston Bay, and the truth is that Buston Bay is okay. The problem is she's also unreliable, and I think a lot of people are going to say, oh, it's switching from Katie to Manny. Manny is a better rider than Katie. And Katie would say that. But I don't think it's that much of a difference that this horse is supposed to get much better, but this horse might be good enough to win anyway.
And Andy, she's won one time in her last 15.
Where did that
starts.
race come from?
And that race was one of the weirdest races we ran up in Saratoga. And the race came from out of nowhere.
That was very hard race to
Obviously, she's the horse to beat in here, but you really, David has her 8-5. She's probably going to be shorter than that.
I don't know if she's going to be shorter than that, but she's going to be the favorite.
I
don't know how short the Ariaga horse is going to be.
Yeah.
I took OK Honey because I have a thing for her, and I thought her best races can win it. Obviously, her recent form can't win it. But they gave her 4 months off after she ran lousy, and she certainly has races that give her a chance to win, and she's going to be the best price of any of these horses that can win it, so I put her on top.
Gus doesn't have a lot of numbers. He's 0 for 9 off this kind of layoff.
It's not this. Anthony, look up stats or don't, but don't use these stats because they include turf horses. They include all sorts.
Overall, they're overall. They usually need one. Gus
don't use the bottom. Don't use them. They're misleading. They're the ones that trainer thinks
She's also
we
off
should get rid
avoided
of.
claim for the 4-month break.
So. Listen, I don't trust her. Yeah. I don't trust her at all. But she has avoided claim, She was wide last time, and the rail was probably the place to be. So she had a bit of an excuse. She has races that can win it. I got a bit of a thing for, and I don't want to bet anybody else, to be honest. Race number 5. Race number 5 can be a very tough race. Very, 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 very tough. Whittingham Park scratched out of that race the other day. He might have gotten a piece to run in this race.
Say again?
Whittingham Park scratched out of that race the other day.
Whittington Park. I don't know what you were saying.
They kind of fell apart at the end. That he would have been well suited to run into this hornet's nest. And this race is an absolute hornet's nest. I like Baldassar. I think that Baldassar ran extremely well last time. We'll show his last race. That's a cue. I didn't understand why David Aragon really liked this horse. I didn't understand why this horse was bet off the board. I was wrong about both. This horse ran. I bet 6%. I was lucky to beat him. This horse really, really improved last time. You know what else is interesting about this horse?
What's that, Andy?
Do you know what is different about this horse than every other major contender in this race?
Do I know what's different than every other major contender in this race?
Would you agree that the 1, 2, and 6 are the other major contenders here?
Of course.
They all come out of a non-winners of 1 victory, and this horse ran extremely well, maybe best in a non-winners of 2. So as opposed to taking
Fair
a bunch
enough.
of horses that are trying to move up in class to look better after beating weaker horses, you've got a horse that is actually better than he looks
Proven
on
at the-
paper.
proven at the
That
level.
ran against better horses
Yeah.
last time out, and I think that's a massive
So you can look
factor.
at that too. That's a great point, actually. I'm going to give you a great point on my last day of the week this week. That's a great point. You could look at it 2 ways. You could look at it that he ran against the 6% and the Full Moon Fevers of the world who have had an awful lot of chances.
They're better horses than these.
Now, and you're looking
I
at
look at he ran
and
against
now
better horses.
He's running against a couple of horses on the come, an Awesome Native.
That'll be shorter prices
And
that
overstep.
aren't that good. Starting with your horse, Awesome Native, you're going to have to tell me what is so special about
I don't
Awesome
know
Native.
how you can just say he's not that good based on his first
The
two
same
starts.
reason that I said that Hoosier Philly was the most overrated horse of all time.
They're individuals. I mean, just
No,
to
they're
say
not.
that.
They're not. They're not. And that's a mistaken opinion to have, and people shouldn't listen to that. There are constant themes in horse racing that get repeated. And one of them is that people are mesmerized by ones. And that's something that Jason
No,
always
that's
said
not
to me.
true with-
Oh, it's
in this
100%
case. I don't
true.
think that's true in
and
this
you have
case.
that buffoon putting in the chart that she frolicked in her races and she went off at 1 to 5, and it's insane. And she's slower than everybody. And this horse, we can look at Awesome Native's race. He's not faster than horses, and he's a 2 to 1 in the morning line because he's got 2 blowout wins against Joey Loose Lips. I mean, give me a break. Can he win? Of course he can win. But he's not supposed to be favored here.
I just said there's 2 horses on the come. Him and Overstep.
But you can't bet horses as the favorite
But-
on the come.
Okay, I don't necessarily disagree with that. The problem with
do it all the time,
Baldassar
though.
is he's going to have to deal with Overstep. And his better races are when I thought his better races are when he's forward. He has to deal with Overstep.
Just a second to him.
Okay.
So this one won't be the first one to inherit. This one you don't like because he'll be the first one to come
Oh,
call.
I mean, he's. I don't know how good Overstep
it's a
is.
flaw.
I know one thing. Overstep ran really well off of 15 months last time.
He beat up on Simply and
He
Mason
did. He
Mania
beat up
like
a
they were
bad bunch of
like they were a
horses.
mediocre bunch like they are.
beat
We'll
up
look at
a bad
Overstep's
bunch of
last
horses.
race. He's another one. Can he win? I looked up a Todd. We can show Overstep. I looked up a Todd stat. Some fascinating stats. Off a win on the dirt, second off a layoff of over 250 days, okay, which he comes into. He's 9 for 28, but only $1.32 ROI. 9 for 28. At Naira,
So that's about 30%.
okay. At Naira, he's 1 for 11 with a 37-cent ROI, okay? In routes, he's even better. He's 7 for 17, $1.72 ROI, which means he's winning 40% with horses that are just over even money. At Naira, he's 0 for 6. I put up the Naira for all of them. He's 0 for 6 in routes doing it. It just seems to me that these kind of horses, they've had some success over where they have run. They've been overbet in all their starts. They're not running to their odds, and they're not winning here. And I think it's kind of relevant. I don't like Overstep at all.
You want to bet 5 versus 6?
Oh, God. I'll bet you 2 lunches on that. I
Sure.
can get to 132 today.
Okay.
5 over 6, 2
You want to bet any
lunches.
5 versus 2s?
No, I don't like either one of
Okay.
them. I picked the 1 second.
That's what I said. Do you want 5 versus 2 also? You could have that too, as many as you
Oh
like.
yeah, five
Two
over
of them?
two for. Well, I'm taking the worst in the odds on that one. I'll bet one on that.
Okay.
So
I'll give you 3-2 on 5 versus 2. You want
Okay.
3-2?
Okay.
Okay.
Wow. So I'm going to be up 133 lunches after today. Wow. That 150 is coming closer and closer. I think this is a great betting opportunity. I don't know
Obviously.
for sure that Baldassar is going to be the 4-1 that David made him. I don't think he will be because he's faster than those horses. But I think this is a great situation where you're getting a horse that's a more proven commodity against horses that need to improve to win. And people are once again mesmerized by open length wins. Race number 6 after a break.
For almost 150 years, the Saratoga name has been synonymous with the finest quality, sustainably sourced spring water available anywhere. Saratoga carries on the rich tradition of its forefathers by crafting each stunning blue glass bottle with the same attention to detail and care that has been its hallmark for generations. Visit SaratogaSpringwater.com today or ask for us by name at your local market or restaurant. Saratoga Spring Water. Make every day exquisite.
Anthony knocked the graphics out, but fortunately our crack staff and the TV truck was able to get
I
them
think you
back
did
up.
it.
No, it was.
I got my story. You got yours, buddy.
It's John Getzler. You got too close to the graphics.
That's what it was.
Yeah, I'm laying on Getzler.
I'm gonna say it's Veronica.
John is our sound man.
I'm gonna blame Veronica.
You know, I'm actually a little annoyed. Getzler does a mean Star Spangled Banner on the guitar. We got to get him to do that again one of these days.
Yeah, why not?
We got to get him out there for that. Did it in Saratoga, but he hasn't done it in a few years, I don't think.
Okay.
Race number 6. We'll take a look at mandatory 3-back running third to Reggae Music Man Life Changer. What has happened to him since that race?
Oof, right?
Now he's in for 40. Well, I'm going to say he had no chance chasing Gulfstream Way, who are just better horses. And then I don't know what went through their mind to run him at 1 1/8, because he's not really a 1 1/8 horse. He was second in a very bad maiden race, 1 1/8. I think he's a one-turn horse. I think he's an hour the horse to beat in here. I found a John Kimmel stat. His numbers dropping in first time for a tag are not good. On the dirt, we'll show it. He's just 5 for 33. I don't trust this horse at all, but he's the horse to beat.
Could he have just been ready to run
Maybe.
off the layoff and then just fizzled?
Well, but there's a difference. This horse is pretty good. This horse has back races that are pretty good.
He does, but I mean,
I get it. He may
he's
just
another
not be able to run
he's
anymore.
also right. He's also a horse that has a year-plus layoff on his card earlier in his career.
I get it. I didn't put him on top.
Yeah.
I put Colloquy on top.
Okay.
I thought Colloquy was running fine both of his last races. He was wide last time. The rail was the place to be, chasing a pace that collapsed. Time before that, he didn't get into a very good position there. I think Colloquy is the horse to beat.
I think it's no coincidence that you picked him on top since he's been claimed from Christophe Clement, by the way.
That guy stinks. He's a terrible trainer. Is he? When's he coming back? He's going to be due to come back.
Soon.
He's doing. Somebody told me he's doing well in Florida.
Yeah,
I feel bad for the other trainers if he's winning. Yeah. It is sad how little attention we pay to Gulfstream. How much you used to look for the Gulfstream meet.
My friend Mary was talking to me about the other day. I was like, I couldn't give you anything.
I
Couldn't give you
don't even
anything.
know who's running there.
Yep.
Honestly, I literally don't even know who's running
Unless
there.
I'm looking at the stakes for Naira bets, I really don't pay much.
Sad.
Yeah.
Achilles heel.
Yeah, I took a little shot here. He's another horse. I don't think he wanted to go that far.
The reason
last
Anthony
time.
picked Achilles heel is that Rudy's won a few races
Buddy, that's
recently.
part of it. Can
That's,
you let
that's
me
fine.
finish?
You weren't going to say it. You're going
No,
to
I
come
was
with
going to say it.
the
No.
silly distance
He kind of
crap.
had a weird. He kind of had a
gonna-
weird trip. He kind of had a trip to nowhere, and first off the claim, and then last time he went too far. And I just thought
No,
Rudy
he got the same figure last time and the time before
Barn
that.
was heating up.
He didn't go too far.
Barn's heating up. I don't really want. I don't want mandatory. I don't mind colloquy, but I want a horse at a little bit of a better price.
He wants Rudy because Rudy's horses are
And
winning.
Rudy's horses are running.
That's fine,
Yeah.
but I just want.
I said it to Maggie yesterday on Fox, buddy.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure we say it.
I was going to say it.
You're like
I was going to. I
like
saved the
guy,
best for last.
No, you're like that seed in bananas. When
Sometimes
Woody
the
Allen goes
snow
to the
comes
store
down in June,
and he says,
Andy.
I want the Time and the Newsweek and the Sports
Sometimes.
Illustrated, and then he wants the Dirty Magazine, and
wants
then he
the
wants
Playboy.
Life. You're like dressing it all up.
I'm
He
not
likes
dressing it
Rudy.
up. I
He wants
saved
to
the
bet
best for
Rudy.
last. That's what I do. I set them up for it. I set them up
You
for it.
saved the best
That's
for
what I
last.
do. I saved the best for last.
No, you did save the best for last because that was the best. Race number 7. What did you do race number 7?
I went back to Tonal Impact. You want to talk about a horse that's just found the right form, found his form. I mean, the time he got beat here since getting claimed by Linda and coming to the circuit back to the circuit from Churchill, he got beat by the racetrack.
Well,
his
he got-
other 2 wins are just.
He got beat by a horse who was able to control the front end. Yeah, there probably was a bit of a
He
bias.
got,
against him.
he got beat by the racetrack a little bit too. He just and he was.
The problem with him is he's never beaten any good horses.
No, I don't disagree with that at all. He's got.
Being some pretty soft fields.
Yeah, and last time he didn't look like a winner until the 8th pole. Last time he was.
Well,
in
it was a
trouble
weak
last
field.
time.
He beat good skate.
Yeah,
I mean,
he beat bad horses. I'm not saying he didn't beat. I'm not
bad
saying
horses,
that.
weaker horses.
Yeah, weak horses.
But he's running good figures. I like Win the Day.
All right.
We'll go back to one of my favorite races every year, the Tokyo City.
You love the Tokyo City.
I live for the
How
Tokyo
many times
City.
have you been out there for the Tokyo City?
In my heart, I'm there every year. And he actually, now, the one thing that concerns me is I wish it was more distance.
Sure,
Mile and 3/16 is
obviously.
okay, but I think more distance is better for him. I don't know what they thought going to run him on synthetic, but they did win a race, but he's not a synth horse. He's a third horse. He's back on the right surface. He drew a good post. He gets a little more distance. I thought he was way the horse to beat in here. What's his morning line?
He
gotta be
is
favored,
5-1.
right? There's a better chance that I'm in the All-Star game today than he's 5-1.
I think they have a synth. I think they have some sort of a marathon race on the Jeff Ruby Stakes card. So maybe this allowance race just fell in, and then he went there to try to synth. He didn't run that poorly on the synth. I mean, and if you're thinking distance is his friend, it might not matter what he runs on that. At least they know they can handle it. He ran 280 buyers.
Yeah,
so.
I worried the race a little short for him, but at least enough. I thought he was the worst to beat in here. He won't be 5-1. There's no way Gasoline is 3-1 and he's 5-1. If that's the case, I'm out of
I think a little more ground probably helps. You don't have locally owned, but I think a little more ground probably helps.
Why is
him, too.
Naval Aviator impossible in here?
He's not.
I thought he was dangerous. The horse I don't want is Curlin's Wisdom. I know this was a sloppy track last time. We'll show his race 2 back. The problem I have is this figure of 95 hasn't held up. Patient Capital has come back with an 86 and an 82 and ran an 86 before it. And I know they ran a big fast race. I know they were 7 lengths ahead of the third horse. But this race is one of those races that it came up fast, but it's not a figure that's working going forward. I'm not knocking them for the figure. They made the figure the way it should have been, I guess. It just feels too high. And I'll be honest, I like Jason Oasis as a rider, but Jose Lozcano takes the other one. And I actually think if you throw out the wet track race, this horse is as likely, if not more likely.
I guess. I would imagine he'll be a little, I'm not saying he's going to be on a lead, but he'll probably be a little forward in here.
Yeah, he's sitting second to Gasoline.
Yeah, second to Gasoline.
And I think if you want to be a little forward, you want to, it's only to the benefit of the other ones. But I like Win the Day, and I won't be getting 5-1.
Okay.
I take 3-1.
Okay. You'll probably get 3-1.
I don't know. The Mattie May. Is this named for the Rod Stewart song?
Rod Stewart song? I don't know. Well, since it's Maggie May, I don't think so.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. It's a good. You make a great point. Okay. Who was Mattie May?
I don't know.
Do we know?
Can we Google?
Was it a horse?
I could try. I'll try and find out. Go ahead.
All right. I'll go ahead. Les Bon Temps.
Le Bon Temps.
We'll
the
take
good
a
times.
look at Les Bon Temps beating Midnight Lights, who actually ran very well here the other day when second to Linda's horse. Another race, I got to look up that fig. And of course, ran a much faster race in the fast track, winning the Maid of the Mist and beating Miracle, who finished second, first time for Todd Pletcher, in the Rachel Alexandra, who was a lot better than Hoosier Philly, by the way, contrary to somebody. Somebody on Twitter saying, is Hoosier Philly better than Rachel Alexandra? They should be ashamed of themselves. Ashamed.
See, I don't pay it as much attention as you do, especially.
I think that's disrespectful to say that.
That's
Rachel
crazy.
Alexandra
That's
was
crazy
an
talk.
all-time great as a 3-year-old. An all-time great.
All-time great.
For a 3-year-old
That's one
year,
of the greatest
seasons you'll ever see.
Ever see.
And to make those kind of references to slow horses making their fourth start is obnoxious.
I'm getting nothing from Mattie May, but it was all's coming up as our race, and apparently some social media TikTok nonsense. Some new.
Well, we know it wasn't named after TikTok.
No, so I don't know.
Anyone in the racing office except for Rob has heard of TikTok. You've got this one on top. I thought she was the worst to beat.
Yeah, I really liked her last that race we just watched, even though I was trying to find out what Mattie May was all about. I think she wants a little bit more ground. I'm not sure how much. I don't think she liked that track at all. I just think she beat those horses on her class last time. I know the connections were looking to run around. Lady Sheila bought in, so horse was transferred to Linda Rice. I believe they bought majority from Deuce Greyhouse.
Deuce.
And
yeah,
I think she's poised. I think she's poised for a good season. Her first couple of races were against Open Company. She won. She ran behind Wonder Wheel to start her career. Second start.
I think, like you, I think she's the worst to beat in here. I picked the other Linda horse, Starry Midnight. I'm going to hope she wants more distance. I'm going to hope she matures a little bit. She's had kickback issues in 2 starts. Things never went well. She's got to learn to get out of the gate. Her first race was visually impressive. I'm hoping more distance works, and today's the day I can get a little bit of a price on her. I don't love her, but I think she's got more ability than those figures suggest. But I don't take Le Bon Temps. I don't think she's going to be easy. I'm having a moment. Show the big win here over Cairo Sugar, who's also in today's race. I don't know what to do. Bill Mott, not good numbers with maiden breakers in their second career starts. They paid a lot of money for this horse. This horse beat a weak field, but I'll tell you something. Betting against Mott horse these days, you're doing it at your own peril.
Yeah.
I mean, that barn has been, they're a good barn, but that barn has been on fuego for about, 6 months now?
Yeah, this filly won pretty easily that day. Going to 7/8 first time.
But it was a weak field.
Yeah.
I know. And to be fair, Cairo Sugar did come back. She improved her buyer figure 3 points in her next start. So she at least legitimized the race. I don't think it's impossible.
We should be ashamed of ourselves.
I am ashamed of myself.
So my buddy
every day I get up, I'm ashamed of myself.
My buddy Travis Wilson and my co-host from 2 weeks ago, Paul Veterosa, chiming in. Mattie May was owned by Madcap Stable, trained by Todd Pletcher. She was 8 for 19 for $408,000. She was a New York bred. I don't remember.
I have no memory of
No
this.
memory of it. 1990. She was foaled in 1997, so she only ran around here 25 years ago.
I have zero memory of her.
No clue.
That's amazing that neither of us remember her.
No clue.
So she was pretty early for Todd. I mean, that was only his fourth year training when she was a 3-year-old. Third year when she was a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
No kidding.
8 for 19.
Wow. Okay. Tell you what, I'm going to sleep better knowing that mystery was solved.
She was third in the Iroquois. She won the Schenectady.
I don't think we run the Schenectady anymore. They probably renamed it.
I don't believe.
Renamed it the Niskayuna.
Yeah.
You don't get that joke.
She ran in the top fly. She won the Iroquois. Yeah.
First winner, big price at Gulfstream.
Yep.
Race number 9, Carbon Scratched. I changed my picks around and put the layoff horse that I don't even like on top, timed out. But I just got so sick and tired of trying to fight it. I'll use the horse I picked. Guys. Oh, 681, yeah. I'll use the horse. I should have gone 618, but we'll look at timed outs race, 2 races back. I don't know what you say. This horse is coming off a layoff. Michelle's not good off layoffs and is dropping precipitously. It's a dump job. But they did only claim the horse for $40,000. Yeah. To be fair.
Like I talked about earlier with the horse.
I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I'm proud of the selection. I just didn't want to pick.
I tried Run Devil last time. I'll try Run Devil again.
Okay.
New York Supreme second, maybe a little bit more ground.
Run Devil may be improving, but to use your point, she also might be improving with moisture in the track.
Yep. No question.
Though, frankly, her race tree back isn't that bad. It's a little better.
And it was her first start off of a year and 2 years.
Yeah. No, she's fine. I don't. You've got the 6/4.
Yeah.
Well, no New York Supreme for me.
You got a 4th.
Kate, good luck. Good luck, Katie. You're riding the toughest horse. This horse is the toughest horse in the circuit to ride. This horse makes every rider look bad. Literally. I don't blame the riders on this horse. This horse makes everybody look bad. This horse could have got Lafitte Pinkai could come out a retirement rider, and he'd look bad on the horse. Probably now at his age. If he went, if he went back in the time machine.
That's like when they asked. That's like when they asked Jordan how the '98 Bulls would compare to one of the LeBron teams. Probably they said probably only beat them by 2 or 3, and they said why? He said, well, we're all in our 50s now.
Right. Let me tell you something. Those Bull teams were good. They were lucky they didn't run into those Celtic and Laker teams back in the 80s.
In the 80s.
Right.
Right.
Wicked Wisdom's a little interesting in this race. Why is this horse shipping up here?
I don't know, but they threw us off.
I'm just saying, the one Wicked Wisdom. We're still here. This horse is interesting. Why is this horse here? This guy ever run horses here?
How about for a Jess's Dream? This horse has been claimed out of every start except her debut.
They're a precious commodity. You can't get a lot of Jess's Dream. There's not too many of them. People are clamoring for those Jess's Dreams. I remember when he won his debut at Saratoga, the only race he ever ran. I was in the studio watching the race. My friend Brad was there. And I remember thinking, who the hell is that horse coming? He was so far out of it.
A million lines out. Kieran, right?
Crazy race, yeah. We should show that race again. Head over to Naira Bets.
Not now, though. We gotta go.
Oh, we got to go. We're done.
Yeah,
We're late.
I'm telling you.
Go to Naira Bets. Sorry, they had a delay, Chris. Chris is okay. Match 200. You know the drill. We got the other pick 4. We're going to go through these like lightning. Races 2, 3, and 6. We also have the $5,000 pick 5, both here and Oakland. The late pick 5s, $2,500. Get involved in that. Belmont Stakes tickets are on sale, and we're on from 2 to 4:30. We are done.
4:50.
4:50.
Don't jip yourself 20 minutes, buddy. I'll see you on Friday. Sarah El Badwi will be here.
We're good. See ya. Bye.
For almost 150 years, the Saratoga name has been synonymous with the finest quality, sustainably sourced spring water available anywhere. Saratoga carries on the rich tradition of its forefathers by crafting each stunning blue glass bottle with the same attention to detail and care that has been its hallmark for generations. Visit SaratogaSpringwater.com today or ask for us by name at your local market or restaurant. Saratoga Spring Water. Make every day exquisite.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Aqueduct on a Sunday afternoon, 9 races. At the Big A, here are today's scratches and changes. The track is fast. Race 1 started the early pick 5. Scratch the 3, Welcome to My World. Scratch the 3 in race 1. Race 2, start of the early pick 4, is clear. No changes. Race 3, the middle pick 4, will start in race 3, no changes. Race 4, start of the pick 6, is clear. No changes in today's 4th. Race 5 is the start of the late pick 5. Scratch the 1A, Full Moon Fever. Rider change on the 7, make it Jeremy Laprida. In race number 6, it's the start of the late pick 4. Scratch the 1A, Major Spin. Scratch the 2, Legendary Lore. And scratch the 3, Open Till Midnight. Scratch the 1A, 2 and 3. In race 6. Race 7, scratch the 4, Be Better. Scratch the 4 in race 7. Race 8 is clear. No changes in today's 8th. And race 9, scratch the 5, Carbon. The 5 is scratched in race 9. The track is fast. Race 1 and the early pick 5 coming up. 1 mile is the distance. Scratch the 3. Race 1, the early pick 5 is next. Good luck.
Who you betting on? How about an app created specifically for horse racing? Naira Bets. We specialize in thundering hooves, fist pumping, and boosting your bankroll with robust weekly promotions. And offer betting tips from actual horse racing experts. Bet all day and night, nationwide. Get the action and thrill of horse racing with Naira Bets.